Just want to do a quick update on progress on the 65 Ford Galaxie 500 convertible. As you can see, I've taken the fenders off, painted everything up front, cleaned, painted everything up front. I just put these new wheels on. They're black, American Racing Special Edition, 10 wide, 7 wide in the front. I don't really like them on this car, so I'm probably gonna send them back or sell them, I should say, since I bought them on Facebook Marketplace, and then probably put my other ones back on. I think chrome does have to go back on this car, so there's that. They do look good when the top's up, but when the top's down, it just looks kind of goofy because there's nothing else that's black. Did the front lights, rewired everything. Horns are wired, turn signals, all that stuff's rewired. Those are still not working properly. Trying to still trace wires that didn't exist that are back at the firewall. But the major part I got done was mostly all the wiring in here for the motor. Done quite a bit. As you can see, I got all the wires from the firewall, ignition, here. So that took a lot of time. That took days. And then here's the line I ran over to the 80 amp breaker, which runs underneath here and goes over to my power steering, electric power steering I installed. So one of the things is when I got this thing running, also the heater coil started leaking. So I just kind of looped that back to itself. And then I kind of did a little number here just to keep that straight. So there's no heater in the car at the moment. What have I not done to the motor? Brand new, well, not brand new, but completely rebuilt Holley 4-barrel with you know, all the adjustments. I put this guy on there because this thing likes to breathe. This is a 460, in case you haven't seen the other videos. 460, Ford 460. This one was manufactured, I believe it said 72 to 78 is the mold. Doesn't mean it was made then, but that was the mold for this motor, and they used it for a while, 90s. I painted the valve covers just because they were kind of just blah. And I'm kind of liking the red theme a little bit with the car. And I really hate that brake booster, man. That thing has been a bane of my existence so far. I mean, even though they trimmed that originally, but I was trying to get a new valve covers and they don't fit because of that thing. And I've had to unbolt that last bottom bolt 37 times now to try to get rid of a tick I'm finding in this thing, which that's why I'm out here now, to pull it apart a little bit more and check on the rods and see if they're bent or what. So I'm going to do that, but before I do that, I want to do a little quick video. Again, I heard you're supposed to put these ignition coils straight up and down. That's kind of what they say as well. I see a lot of people mount them sideways. They're oil filled, so they last longer and you get better quality if they're faced up and down. So there's that. Timing, I think I got set pretty well. I put some timing tape on there just to help me because I'm kind of new at this. And my advanced timing is -10 on this to start, and then it goes up. I have this timed out to around 20 degrees, and it runs pretty well at 20 degrees, at least better that I like. I'm hoping once whatever's going on with this rod over here, that helps it too. And it runs really well. It's quick. Car gets up and moves. I got a big old bat tray in here. This thing works great. And I always have it trickle charging just in case, because a lot of times I leave the key on while I'm messing with stuff and forget. So motor is looking pretty good all in all. Engine bay is looking pretty good, all in all. A lot of the wiring I redid, like I said, over here. Just ignore that. Some garbage. I still got to figure out a couple crazy things. As you can see, this rat nest of wires that they got running across. I'm sure that has something to do with these turn signals not working. But I got the rears working just fine. Then I got the wires the way I like them, all pretty nice. I disconnected the choke. I just left it open. Again, when I have the choke closed, this thing won't even start. Drilled holes in the flappers, whatever the technical term is. I think I did it, might have been an 1/8 inch hole in those, and it starts right up first fire every time, which is great. A couple projects coming up is got to get the washer or the windshield wipers working. When I got the car, they did work, but I've rewired so many things that this is probably not hooked up anymore. So I'm going to do that. This fender, actually, front fender, I had this car jacked up and I really wasn't paying attention. I was kind of in a hurry, and it slipped out and smashed the bottom fender pretty good. So I got that outside, and I got to fix that. The guy that had it before me dropped an engine on this car, and you can see where it hit the door. This is also going to be very fun. This is not plastic or anything. Some solid metal. The frame is a little rusty, so I got a buddy of mine coming over to help me with that. His name's Bobby. I'll probably do some recordings on that when I get to it. But they did some other frame repairs in the past, just thickening everything. But we're going to completely wrap the frame after we cut out some of the bad rust and just do a full C-channel around it from front all the way to the back, so this thing will be solid as hell. I got all this trim back in, got all the trim on the doors polished, and I put new plastic on it. This thing's been sitting outside here and there, so it's not as clean as it was, but all that's good. I put a new glass window in. You can message me if you want, and I could try to help you with that if you're having problems. But I gotta tell you, this was a nightmare. There's a reason why almost everybody I've watched do this just take it somewhere and have professionals do it. There was a plastic window in it before. I ripped it out without thinking and marking things of that nature. And yeah, trying to put this one in and get it tight, because this sucker is tight, is very, very difficult. It was not easy for me. It's probably very easy for somebody who's done it 1,000 times. But yeah, there was that. This is an original cover too, believe it or not. The people that bought it, it's original back to 1965. When they bought this car, they bought an extra top because I guess they were having a deal on it or something, and they left it in the box. So when the box was open to put the new top on, the back window was rotted, but they still put the top on and just left it like that outside, so it got really wet inside and the interior got destroyed. So yeah, rear tail lights are finished now. They're not perfect. I tried to polish them up best I could. They came out pretty good though. I'm not too unhappy with them. I redid the matte black paint. Credit to my wife, she helped me tape these things off. She's got a steady hand. Again, I polished all this stuff up best I could to try to clean it up. It looks better on camera than it does in real life, trust me. All of this. Bumpers, I got 2 bumpers right now. I'm gonna try to actually do the powder coating chrome on them, since I can't really find bumpers for a decent price that are good. I mean, I can find them for $500, but I don't want to spend any money on that stuff right now. The paint's gonna have to be redone. They actually painted it like 3 years ago, but left it outside, didn't touch it, so it got a little beat up. I could probably polish it, but there's so many little dings in it from just being around this guy's shop when he started working on it originally. What else? Oh yeah, the trunk is fairly done. Oh, I don't have the key with me, but the trunk's done inside. I put the mat down. Right now it's a storage facility for a lot of other parts. I redid the front shocks. I did a video on that. Shocks and springs, those are all redone. I don't know if you can see them with this, but whatever. I put new plastic on underneath the fenders here and down below, which is kind of like your weather stripping for keeping water out of here. Those were like dry rot pretty bad, and this one was like pretty much missing. So I did that just to make sure, you know, when I put this thing back together, it doesn't just fill up with water for no reason. So painted all this back into the black. This was all red as well. The original body color was like a maroon, apparently. I gotta polish all this still, but it's in good shape. The window is just horrifically dirty. I've tried to clean it, but not using anything really rough, just, you know, regular cleaner. So that'll be fun, and I gotta get all that window film out. Most of the dash is there. I'm gonna rebuild this dash in this car. Oh, by the way, let me show you this. I wanna show you this window. You see this window? It's like, this is 65 Galaxie. They only made this for 1 year, but there's supposedly parts that go back from 65 to 68 and some. Straight. So I got a window off a guy. That's actually, I got it from eBay, but the guy lived in Melbourne, which is probably an hour away from me. Still mailed it to me because I didn't want to drive an hour. And he said the 65s would fit, but if you see here, it's rounded. 65 is 65. Try to remember that if you find parts. The top, you know, it'll do for now. It's fine. And there's nothing wrong with it outside of really the inside portion of it is just doesn't look great. I got to put the rear view on, but I'm waiting until we do the frame and all that. So I got to take this window back out. I'm going to put the old one back in. The only reason why I swapped the windows is because when they sanded the car, I guess when they were doing it cheap, they didn't protect it or roll the window down. So there's a sand mark all the way across here when they painted it. This one actually has it on it. You can see that sand mark. I got to try to get that off the window too. Try to polish it somehow. All new carpet. All new, well, not all new interior, but I took the interior apart, cleaned it up, put it back together. The door panels are shit. I mean, the boards are so bad and mildewy. I gotta do something. So they had already cut these speakers out and put them in there. So I just put them back in. And when I went to drop the top, it just ripped the speakers right out because of the cylinders. So I'm hoping those cylinders aren't leaking too bad. I'm gonna have to pull this out. This top wasn't functioning very well, so I might have a leak again. I rebuilt the motor and cylinder motor and all that stuff, just with new gaskets and new bearings and stuff. The dash is kind of in shambles. I stripped all the crap off they had on here, and it's just beat up. Put a new steering wheel on, which, by the way, highly recommend. This thing is gorgeous, man. I love it. It just feels good too. That's temporary. I just threw that up here because it was actually mounted over here. It's got a long shifter in here, which I really don't like, to be honest. So I'll probably change that out as well. Other than that, it works pretty well. Where the radio was, we got gauges now. But I have decided I'm gonna take all of this. This is coming out. And I'm gonna mold a new dash. I'm gonna leave this part here with all these functioning parts, and I'm gonna put a mechanical across here and then just probably do it in metal or fiberglass and powder coat it or whatever. That'll be a project, and I don't know when I'm gonna get to that, but everything else is not bad. This window still has to be adjusted, and I gotta kind of probably clean up the rollers and everything better. All the windows work perfect, even the little vents, but this one's still tough to roll up and down, so I gotta clean that up a little more. The top, as you can see, it's okay. It's not bad. When I put this in, I'd put it back in with the zipper so I could just take that window out if I had to, which I'm probably gonna have to. Speakers in there. These are the speakers they have. I ordered new speakers and all that. I just haven't gotten to it yet. You got your well in there. That's all done back there. Again, in the back corners, when I took the top out, where the top screws in, so it holds this back portion of the canvas top, it was rusted out. So I had to put new metal in there. And that wasn't bad, to be honest. But I cleaned it up, then I vulcanized it and cleaned it up better, painted it. This top though is just like very clickety clackety. I got to run through this whole thing. So I think I made my mind up. I'm going to replace this whole top at some point. When I do that and have this off, I'm going to run through all this metal and clean it up. It actually looks pretty good. It's not like a lot of rust or anything, but I replaced all the seals where I could, around the doors, between the windows, things like that of that nature, the trunk. But the top seal I have not done yet. That goes around the whole top, all the way around. They're like $400 for the kit, so it hasn't really been worth it to me to pay that kind of money yet. But I will when I need it, if I decide to like start driving this more often. And once she's wrapped up. The firewall. So I have the board. I found one and I coughed up the $300 for it like an idiot. I still don't know how I'm going to put it in without cutting it up, but you know what? I'm probably going to cut it up. I don't care. It's my car. It'll look good. Nobody will ever know. And it doesn't really make a difference. It's not really what the difference is for it. Got a new switch for the highlight or brights. Put that in. Haven't mounted it yet, but that's fine. Turn signals work, like I said. These vents. I haven't driven it with the vents open yet on the side. That's kind of cool feature, by the way. This car has no AC. Never had it, so I'm probably gonna have to pony up the money to do that if I decide to keep it longer. None of the dash lights work still. Like I said, I've been just tearing this thing apart, trying to figure this out. And I bought a chart for it, a wiring chart, so that's been massively helpful. Here's the radio I did, by the way. I haven't mounted it yet, just because I'm running wire still. But this is like it's a Bluetooth, it's a Boss Bluetooth. It's only about 3 inches deep. It's really cool. But it hooks up Bluetooth, has radio, all that fun stuff. You connect it to your antenna. I love this thing. It's really good. And I got it on Amazon. I think it was like $80. What else? Like I said, and I put the interior in. It's worked out pretty well. I started taking this door off. I just wanted to see something, but I had the top down and I had the cover over the top, the leather one. I have the original actually, and it's a little beat up, but I can use that for now as well. Kind of adds a little flavor to the car. As you can see, there's your cylinders back there that knock the speaker out. Throw this thing right out of there. It was kind of a hokey deal that they had originally. I don't even know why I tried to use it again. Live and you learn. There's all your hoses. I gotta see, like I said, if it's leaking. But I don't feel like doing that right now. Better view from the ashtray where I don't have an ashtray in it. I love that this car has ashtrays in every seat, every door, and then in the center of the front. It's just magical. But man, I tell you, this thing it's pretty cool how they built them. Just styling is really cool too. And the seats are comfortable. Trying to think of anything else major I've done. Underneath the car, I cleaned it up, pressure washed the whole bottom. I'm gonna be doing the body bolts to frame, body to frame. I'll do that video because there is literally zero information. You can't even go online and find a diagram on where they are for 1965. I challenge you to find one and send me a link. Don't send me somebody else's stuff. I want somebody to send me a diagram that somebody's drawn or it's official. Don't just draw one real quick by hand and lie to me. But if you can find one, dude, that would be awesome. So there she is. That's my ride as of now. Like I said, I drive it around sometimes, even this way, because I got to test it and see how the timing is on it and how it drives, all that fun stuff. But I have all the other parts and pieces outside. I redid, they had the grill blacked out. I think they painted it black, but it was a nightmare. It took me like 7 tries of paint stripper to get it cleaned down and a lot of elbow grease, but it's done. So it's coming along. Like I said, this has been my you know, biggest challenge, all this stuff. They also had a power steering here, but it wouldn't fit with the configuration of belts they did. So, and I was told this, by the way, was a crate motor at one point, and then they just bolted on extra shit that they found from other cars probably. It's got the Super Cobra heads on it. Oh, you see it right there. Good car all in all. Solid motor. Oh yeah, it redid the rear main seal. That was actually a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. I had to drop the oil pan to access it, squeeze the oil pan forward as much as possible to barely be able to get the seals out, and then putting it back together was 10 times harder because I had to put the gasket back on top and, you know, all that stuff, and try to screw it on without even seeing above it. I only had about 3 inches of room, 2 inches of room without seeing. And you know what? It does not leak. I'm shocked. I am so damn shocked. You saw the video probably that I did of the transmission fluid. I swapped out the pan. I put a new pan on that's got a drain built into it. I kept the old pan like I said in the video, and I'm gonna just put a bolt in there. But there's a new one. No drips, no nothing. Shocked that that worked out. So that's cool. But you've heard about my next big projects. Oh yeah, look at that. See the juice? I know what that is already. That's my cylinders leaking. My brand new cylinders. Probably one of the connections. So there you go. At least I figured that out quick. What else? I gotta do the rear shocks. I can't find the actual shocks. I should have those soon, I'm hoping. Vivid, I ordered them from Vivid, and they said they were delivered 3 weeks ago now, and me and them going back and forth. They still haven't been able to give me an answer on where the hell they are, and they said they're reaching out to the supplier, and they haven't got an answer. That's been going on 2 weeks of them telling me they still can't get an answer from their supplier. So if I was Vivid, I would say, don't use those people. They suck, and they don't like you and care about you. Either way, signing off. If you have any questions, 65 Ford Galaxie. I've been up and down this thing quite a bit. I know a lot more than I'm probably talking about that I've shown so far. But yeah, it's going well. I love it. Having fun. Let me know if you have any questions.